All right, man. This is episode 5.
Yes,
Episode
sir.
5 already of the Black Star Stroke Time podcast. So we got a lot to get into. We've been kind of out for a minute. Just had some things coming up, some other projects we've been on. But we back, and because we've been gone for so long, obviously there's been some news in the sports world, basketball world that's accumulated.
Finally starting.
Finally started. We have an official date. Instead of not just speculation, we have an official date, July 31st.
About time.
So what? And the NBA's back, but obviously some other stuff. Obviously we were trying to keep it. We're talking about sports, and we have other podcasts that go into real life shit. But sports and real life shit mesh. There's no division. So
Man, don't forget to mention that other podcast, bro.
Oh yeah.
Narratives.
It is
the
our
Kente narratives, bro. What?
Kente
Come on
narrative.
now.
So the Kente narrative is gonna be me. Of course, two other, my sister, his sister. We're basically just gonna be talking about everything on there. So anything ranging from music to real life issues to life experiences to it's where you get to see more of our whole kind of character, her whole personality on there. But yeah, so
you get to see the African culture through Americans. Does that kind of make sense?
Pretty much.
Like we're African, but we were born in America.
Yeah. Pretty much. So you're gonna see more of who we are on that. But as I was saying, I was psyched at first initially, way before, the killing of George Floyd, the riots, and, everything that's been going on, pretty much everything that the world, apparently the country's going to shit. But
wow.
I was very happy at first initially when I found out it was coming back. But now with certain things that have came about, I don't really think it may necessarily be the best time for I'm just an individual. Who am I? What the fuck do I know? But I think that there are pressing issues that have to do with life and death kind of things that, as much as we're avid NBA fans, we all know the life of Black lives and the life of the disrespect of those lives is pretty much being cast aside. And you can tell that, I know that they already had it planned for the NBA to come back before this happened, but you know where their priorities lie. They want it to still go on. We've seen a bunch of players like CJ McCollum, Kyrie Irving has come out and really voiced his opinion on them not bringing back the season because there's with all the stuff that's going on. There have also been big names that kind of are like, hey, I'm gonna give my piece and I'm gonna do what I can, but I still think that we can play basketball and simultaneously keep the pressure on Black Lives, the whole, I don't want to say movement because it's not a movement,
bro, we've been oppressed for so long, bro.
Yeah. So what's your thoughts on all that?
Man, honestly, I remember the last 2 podcasts we had, we were so excited. We were like, oh, what are the plans? The NBA has to come back. There's really nothing to do. And then when they finally announced that, oh yeah, the NBA is coming back, I'm like, yeah. Although I'm kind of skeptical because the virus is still out there.
And Corona's still out there. Yeah.
so
I didn't even mention that.
I don't want to put the players in harm's way. They're humans at the end of the day. Right. Basketball will always be here, But then when this shit happened with the George Floyd, I was like, yo, this is the time to stand and to make shit happen. And I think that by them, shout out to Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Because I think he was the one who led the whole not wanting to play because of what's going on right now. And I agree. I don't think they should play. I think they should sit out. Bro, Black people are dying of police brutality every day, every year. And Yes, like stop playing. We need your platform. We need your platform. We need you to speak up about these issues. And like it's funny. I know on Friday we were talking about we need to touch the younger generation. Like these athletes, in a way, these younger generation kids look up to like LeBron James or like a Steph Curry. Seeing them go out there and protest and using their platform to speak about issues going on. And like, we don't need basketball, because I feel like if basketball comes back, that's going to distract the whole purpose of what's going on right now.
Right. It's funny because, ironically, we are a basketball podcast, but, we can kind of remove ourselves from that. We are also Black man first, and it's not even, it's honestly not even like a race thing. It's just a humanity thing. Like, we all know that, listen, I want basketball back. You want basketball back. But we also do know that there's certain priorities, man. Like, I would never choose this shit over the lives of, it seems like now it just seems like that just opened up the floodgates. I heard about this young girl who was basically murdered. There was a quote unquote suicidal hanging, but we all know was damn near fucking lynching of another, young man in LA. And it's just like, it's not the time, and I feel like I see what players like LeBron, and obviously, and LeBron, honestly, like, I'm not saying he can't do it, because he's been doing it his whole career. Like, he can definitely
play and speak.
Yeah, he can definitely speak about it while playing. But I just think that you can tell the higher ups want this shit bad. Like, they want this to because it's becoming something that where it's almost too much for the the masses to control, because it's everywhere. It's in quarantine. We're in quarantine, so that's why you see the 50 out of 50 states were pretty much protesting over this Black issue, or human issue, but Black initial issue. And it's just like, it's not something they were ready for in terms of, you're seeing big businesses quote unquote get canceled because of their stances against it. And all these other things. So it's basically something that they kind of want to shut up. So what's the best way to keep Americans distracted?
Bring the NBA back. Bring the NBA back. It's kind of funny because
are seeing through that.
All these other sports are coming back. Like soccer is coming back this week, and like I think MLS is thinking about coming back in a couple weeks or next month. And it's just like, no, like, nah, it's not the time. Like, sports, we don't need it. Like, we went 2 months without sports. At this point, it's bigger than sports. And also, I like to just see how, like, these Black players are starting to know their worth. And, like, starting to know, like, man, like, yo, I'm the reason why this business is running.
And you know what? It's almost something, people like to talk about, like in Michael Jordan's time and Kareem Abdul. Well, Kareem was one of those guys back then, which makes it even more impressive. But players, for the most part, there was a little sprinkle of them. For the most part, players back then didn't. They knew their worth, but I don't think they knew they had worth, but they didn't know how much worth they had. So you could see that a lot of them were very, lack of a better word, subservient to basically like keeping their mouth shut on a lot of issues. Obviously there were some players, definitely way more now, that speak up. But back then they didn't really have, I guess I think they had the worth, but they just didn't have the knowledge to know that they had the worth.
They just didn't want it. They weren't educated enough.
Yeah, they weren't educated enough.
I can't speak on like how educated they are, but I don't know. Maybe they just didn't want to tap into something that they don't really talk about.
Yeah, well, whatever it was, they didn't really have as much of it as the players do now. So with seeing that, it's how these things are. We don't want them to happen, but there's always a good kind of lining in it. You start to see the underlining things of what has been going on, and you start to actually see who is really about peace and humanity, and just the broader picture of things. And a lot of these athletes are really I don't want to say surprising me, but they're really I'm glad. I'm happy of what I'm seeing because there's a lot of and these are players that are for a lot of them high key marquee players. You know,
Yo,
4-star,
yo,
5-star players that are speaking out.
yo.
They know they money's. They're like, man, fuck the money, bro. Like the people's lives, man. We're seeing people literally getting killed, unarmed, not justified killings, and you expect us to just play, you know, and act like we're not, you know, this isn't going on. Now, I'm glad that this came up now because you already know all these players was talking about this kind of shit
Of
behind closed door,
course,
but Kyrie
bro.
was the first one to really like open up and
Speak
say it.
about it.
Yeah. So I'm glad it came up now so that maybe they can figure something out or, you know, come to some kind of agreement because like it's too, I mean, do I think the NBA is going to come back regardless? Yeah, I
I think
do.
so.
But I think that, you know, we obviously have other things we're going to talk about that have to do with the NBA coming back, but we're just sharing our own thoughts on the matter. I just think that there are certain things that are they're just bigger, you know.
I
Basketball
agree.
is always going to be here. You know, we can always like we can go back to basketball next year. We can't go back. We can't revive somebody. You know, we don't that person's gone, you know? So these are pressing issues that need to be addressed. And we can't just, you know, because I think America has been hiding under all these distractions for too long. Like all this shit right here is not new. It's just like it's like somebody removed the carpet and they found a bunch of bugs under it. You
Bro,
know?
for real, bro.
It's been here. You
For
know,
real,
so
dude. Hey, Kobe's my favorite player, my favorite basketball player.
RIP.
LeBron James is the greatest basketball player I've ever seen play. I
Yeah.
know I said Michael Jordan at first, but
Yep.
LeBron on the court and off the court, I'm just like, wow.
I
Like
agree. I agree. Remember,
you're just like one above NJ because you're using your platform
yeah. And you know,
to
I've seen. Remember, I
change
was
for
talking to you. I think
change.
I was on Friday. We were talking about something on our other podcast, and I don't even know how that came. I think we were talking about how players use their platform or something like that during this time. And you know, I've always been a you know, the person to be like, hey, Michael's the GOAT, you know, over LeBron and all these. I I
Ah,
had to,
man,
you
not
know,
anymore.
I had to look at it and be like, yeah, if we're talking about skill, just one on one, all right, Michael's probably better. But if I'm talking about the whole totality of the person, the individual person, I have to give it to LeBron, man. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
especially since, you know, of who he is and the kind of platform he has and understanding what his influence is and knowing how much already that he has, but how much more he can have and is potentially cutting himself off from by speaking out and not really caring, even though I think he is kind of already settled already. So I don't think that's really a problem for him. But the fact he still does that because we know a bunch of people, athletes, you know, black entertainers that we do expect to, I guess, speak out, but that don't.
I
And I mean,
don't.
then again, it's not like it's a it's necessarily something they are obligated to do, but it's like you, you kind of, you know, you kind of are. It comes with the job, you know. But
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
for
know.
sure. For sure, man. I'm
It's
just, bro, I really hope they don't go on with this season. I just really want them
I
to
know
make
they
a
will though.
stance and be like, yo, we can put the money aside.
Right.
We got to fix what's going on with this world.
I'm
I
really
just,
interested to see what's gonna happen because it's gonna be
just,
something because
just,
there's too many.
just stop the season, bro. Like at this point, like just stop it. Just restart again next season.
Yeah, that's what I think, and I think and it's gonna even mess up so many other things. Like it's gonna mess up the next season, the format, the draft's already gonna be messed up. You know, there's gonna be so many things when I'm just like, you could just let it. You know,
Because a December 1st start date, you're telling me I the finals end in October if you make it to that point, and then November, December after report back to training camp for the start of
yeah,
December 1st is opening night, right?
right. So it's
So they
probably gonna
have
be like October or
November.
something. Yeah,
So like Just stop the season. You can get your money back.
That's I don't
Like
know why these.
although the story would have been nice, like so
Yeah.
many things have happened from for
Like
this
basketball is
season,
so minute at this
story
point,
wise.
And I never
Yeah.
thought I'd say that. Yeah, it's crazy, man. But I mean,
But
like, yeah, it's wild, bro. Because like, these are 2020 is a weird year, man. I mean, it's like I can. We've all seen what's
that's
happened.
a
You know,
horrible year,
it's been a
bro.
horrible year. You know, so it's not like people are not going to be. People should not be. I don't know, mad or surprised that we have to just sacrifice certain things. Like, you know, it's just
That's how
there's so many
change
things.
happens.
Yeah, you know, like there's so many things that kind of pale in comparison, you know, to sports. And I never thought. I mean, obviously, like I mean, I've always known that obviously, like life is more valuable than this, but like there's really people out there that are just kind of like, hey, you know, like the people that you know the Black Lives Matter thing has just been kind of a movement too. They just were doing it
Man,
because you
for
know
real.
it's like it's what's
Yo,
being done. They're like,
they have
all right, well, I want my sports back. Like, no, that's not how you know this shit works. And
they
oh my bad, but
they
I wanna
have
go back to a point you had because you said players are realizing how much worth they have. They're the fuel,
yeah.
not you know. So they gotta do
NBA and
something.
NFL. Although
Yeah.
NFL, they look dirty.
They
Like
look
Roger
dirty.
Goodell's little
Yeah.
speech was
Yeah.
awful, and now they're thinking about bringing Colin Kaepernick back, which makes me even more mad. Like now, I'm like, okay, I don't even want to watch that sport anymore because
Yeah.
of how ugly the owners and the commissioner looks. Like, oh, now you want to bring
Crazy,
Colin
man.
Kaepernick back?
Yeah.
Like what? But that's
Yeah.
a story for another day.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's definitely wild. But you know, we do still have some things to get into that do have to do with if the NBA does come back. Well, I mean, it will come back. I mean,
Oh, at this point,
even though we are saying these things,
it's
like we
about
do
money.
understand this is a multi-billion-dollar company that even though they can gain the money back, they don't want to lose any. So we do know it is going to come back. We've also recently seen that the Disney bubble too. So this whole Disney bubble thing to me, it's just like with this whole Corona thing, I've seen a lot of like wishful thinking versus like reality. You tell me, damn, like okay, so you're gonna have the Disney from what I've seen, Disney World
Orlando,
still
Florida.
yeah, it's still gonna be open to the public. So there's
Yeah.
still gonna be people at the park, right? There's gonna be players that cannot leave a bubble, meaning they can't go back to their families, they can't be with their significant other. First of all, this is a grown man. You really think they're gonna follow that? I don't know about that. You're gonna have maids come in to
Clean the
basically give
room,
them
right?
food and catering them that are coming outside of the bubble. And you're trying to
I didn't
tell
even know all the
me
details on that.
like yeah, it's just there's gonna be too many. Someone is going to get infected because yes, I know people are trying to act like this shit is gone. It's not gone. We are still the country with the most cases, and there's probably going to be a second and third wave. I don't really know why people are acting like this is
People
normal.
people are like, oh yeah, there's gonna be another surge. No, the virus is not gone. It's still here. Like
Yeah,
hello, like people are
yeah,
still getting infected. But
yeah.
there's so much stuff going on now that people have forgotten about the whole virus, and they're like,
Fuck
oh
that.
yeah, it's business as usual. Nah, bro, the virus is still here.
Yeah,
Like,
and players know that because players are not stupid. So you're seeing a lot of players like Carmelo and that are still on the fence of even going because I didn't even know at the time they didn't even give these niggas a chance to even vote
oh
for if they
really?
even wanted it back.
I thought they had like a conference call with like all the superstars.
They had a conference,
Like
but that's not all the
Carmelo's
players in
not
the
a
league though.
Carmelo's not a superstar anymore.
Yeah, but that's not all.
Sorry,
But
is
there's
Carmelo butthurt? He didn't get a phone
there's
call.
but there's hella players. There's hella players like him that
I'll
feel the
play with you,
same way.
Carmelo. I love you,
There's other players that feel the same way. So it's like, you
man.
know,
If I was a player and I was in the top 22, I'd be like, nah, bro. I ain't playing.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
we're
sitting
seeing
at
that with
home.
evidence with the whole Kyrie thing that a lot of these players weren't, for it. So it's like,
But someone did mention there's a difference between like a Kyrie and like a 12th man. So like Kyrie has the money to be like, yo, I don't want to keep on playing, as opposed to someone who's like, just moved up to the G League, finally got a NBA contract, and he needs that bread.
I mean, I guess, but I do think it is. I don't think, honestly, you know how I think about Kyrie. I think he's a little bit of
He's different.
He's different. I do think that some of the locker room cancer shit is overblown, even though I do think there is some truth to it.
No, man. Kyrie Irving is not a problem, bro. It's the people that think he's a problem.
I mean, okay, this is the thing.
He doesn't want to show you his life. Like, why?
No. That's not the problem. It's just that it's just the fact of how
differently. Like,
it's not that. It's just the fact of how, like, one, he's a little bit. I don't want to say he's smart. He wants to think he's smarter than he thinks he is, but he feels as if he can basically do whatever with no consequence. So like with the whole thing with, we're going off another tangent, but I'll bring it back. With the whole thing with LeBron, wanted his own team. All right.
Okay, what's wrong with that?
No, it's nothing. I'm getting to it. Goes to the Celtics. They do all right, gets hurt, and then, but the team does way better than they thought they would have without him. So you're already getting egos. These young dudes are like, okay, we don't even need this dude. Kyrie over here, basically, he couldn't lead the team, right? And because he couldn't do that, he then damn near jumped ship and went somewhere else. So it's like, but this is what you wanted. But it's almost as if I feel like with Kyrie, elite player, probably the best handlers of all time, probably one of the best finishers of all time.
Probably number one, bro.
Probably number one.
Handles.
But I feel like he got a little too big-headed in terms of, like, a lot of that success that you got wasn't, like, just contingent on you. Like, you kind of had other people helping you out. And I think in his mind, he thought that he was the main reason. Because, I mean, he's damn near a traveling man now. You think he's going to stay in the next? Probably going to have some shit wrong with KD.
Man. The man won a ring with LeBron. Kyrie said, man, I think I'm good enough to have my own team and lead my team to an NBA championship. So, yeah, he leaves to go to Boston to try it out. He gets hurt. Those young players who are young bulls, they get better. And then, like, Kyrie comes back with these two young up-and-coming superstars and it just didn't work out. Player management.
He also put all his teammates under the bus damn near.
They had too many pieces. But
the Nets,
I don't hear any of his teammates ever talk bad about him.
Well, probably because
have you heard Jaylen Brown hasn't said anything bad. Jason Tatum hasn't said anything bad about him. Like Brad Stevens hasn't said anything bad. Marcus Smart hasn't said anything bad.
This is the thing.
Like, teammates haven't said anything bad about him.
Teammates don't necessarily have to say something bad.
I think it's drama. I think it's rumors, man.
I don't think so, man.
I think the media there are rumors. Kyrie's different.
I think there are rumors, but I think that there is some truth. I'm not saying it's completely, like, I didn't say he was like legitimately a locker room cancer, but I do think that there are certain things that he does to where he could do them in a better way, like, as anyone can. But I think that he just strikes me as being someone where it's like, whoa, who says you have, like, even though he got a championship with LeBron, let's be honest, like, LeBron was getting championships without, way before him. Where was he when LeBron wasn't there?
Come on, but LeBron also had Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. Come on now, like,
yeah, but LeBron was bringing LeBron was bringing that first Cleveland team. He was at 60 games by himself. Kyrie was not doing shit like that.
Kyrie has his own career, his own path, bro. You can't compare LeBron to Kyrie.
That's what I'm saying. Kyrie don't have that kind of cachet to the point. He has cachet, but he don't got that kind of cachet where he can just go in the room. Hey, we need new pieces, man. Like, what player does that, bro?
Kyrie was like,
He named the
I agree
people
with
he
you
was
on
fucking
that.
with and
I
who
agree
he
with you.
didn't exclude it. You don't do
I
that in the
agree with you on
interview.
that. Kyrie got a big head sometimes,
That's
but
what I'm
hey,
saying. You know, I'm not. I love
he's
Kyrie,
still a
but I'm just saying, I'm
superstar.
always Spain.
He's in my top 10. So.
Oh yeah, of course. Oh yeah, he is in my top 10 of players right now. Definitely.
I think he's better than Steph, but
You're
that's
sick.
me.
You're fucking sick. What does he do better than
I
Steph
think
than handles?
hey, if we put Kyrie into that championship mix and take Steph, I think it's
No,
the same.
they butting
I
heads, bro.
still think Kyrie and Steph.
No,
Nah,
you sound sick.
let's replace Steph with Kyrie.
You
I still
sound
think
sick.
Kyrie
First of
gets
all,
3.
no.
Kyrie gets 3. Come on now.
Steph's mentality and personality. Like, this is the thing. I think skill-wise, Steph is better as well. But I'm not even gonna get into that. Yes.
Wait, skills wise?
Yes.
Who's the better finisher?
I would say Steph. Steph has a higher percentage on finishing. Just because Kyrie got the little fillet, Curry brings that out. But the thing about Steph is that if you've watched his game as long as I have, he's changed his game to where he's more
I've
efficient.
been watching him play since Davidson.
No, okay, then you should know. That I don't know why you're saying this because Kyrie's
Steph is raw, but Kyrie's a little bit better.
Energy wise is efficient. This man, listen, I'll break it down for y'all that just not you, but people who just started watching hoop like 3 years ago. Let me break it down for y'all youngers, all right?
People be sipping that Curry juice too much,
listen,
man. I'm
trying to tell y'all.
You one of them.
I'm trying to educate y'all.
You one of them. Oh my God, Curry.
No,
Curry.
no. Listen, I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. Steph can get to a place. Would you rather be able to get to a place, right, and get to your spot in like 2 or 3 or 4 dribbles, or dribble on a motherfucker like 10, 20 times? The shit look nice.
Come on like, now. Curry does the same thing. Sometimes
no,
Curry.
Not now. What are you talking? This is what Steph will do. Steph will play off ball. What do you mean? Steph will give it to the motherfuckers, blend in with the crowd, run around.
Okay, you watch Curry a lot. Kyrie, you saying Kyrie doesn't do that?
Not to the same effect as Steph. Look at
Kyrie was coming
how many
off
injuries
screens.
Kyrie's had, bro. Those are listen. I'm in Kenese, bro. I know how the body works. All that jump, like all that, like on every single play. that shit's gonna fuck your knees up. Which is he broke his kneecap. Man. He broke his kneecap. He's had injuries that have been like damn near non-contact to where it's like breaking. And that's another thing too. I've been telling people, Kyrie, I don't know if he's low key injury prone. You know, like, and it's not necessarily injuries that like, it's not like a ankle sprain or injuries where somebody just happens to like bump into you and you know it's exerting hella force and it's too much for a body part and it fucks it up.
That reminds you, Curry gets hurt too.
Yeah,
Curry gets hurt a lot.
He has freak accidents, not like.
So him rolling his ankles a freak accident and sitting out.
How long ago was that?
Hey, I'm just saying.
How long ago was that? Like 2012. Ever since
Kyrie's now getting hurt, but before he wasn't getting hurt.
But Steph is getting hurt less now, so obviously, listen.
Steph was just hurt this season, bro.
Yeah, from breaking from a freaking 300-pound dude falling on his wrists.
Okay, and that's Kyrie got hurt too.
Freak accidents don't count because that can happen to anybody. I'm talking more on like your body breaking down.
I'm just saying, not you, but a lot of people write people off so quickly, and I think people are writing Kyrie off because he's been hurt or because of his last previous team.
He's top 10 in my book right now.
We can agree to disagree. You'll take Steph. I'll take Kyrie.
About to lose, bro.
Kyrie will still get me championships. I know that.
Steph won championships. What you mean?
No, I'm saying. If you take Curry.
Oh my!
Take him away and put Kyrie.
Kyrie cannot.
You tell me the Warriors still don't win 3.
Kyrie cannot lead a team like Steph can. Kyrie will damn near shoot. Kyrie's the type of dude where if he's having an inefficient night, he won't try to pass the motherfucker. He still try to shoot the shit and think every shot's going in. Steph.
Let me tell you something, Kofi. Didn't you guys have KD who left to go play with Kyrie?
Yeah, but he's stupid. He left because let me not get it. Let me not start calling KD's words. He left because Draymond got under his skin. Okay, and he left because Curry was still getting the love that KD felt he should have gotten. When you're coming to a team that's already built, already had championships, already had MVPs,
KD was looking into the future, and he was like, "Ooh, I think I can still get myself at least." He
left to get out of Curry's shadow, bro. That's what he did, bro.
Man.
He left to go to somebody he could control. Which is Kyrie, which is a mistake because he can't control Kyrie either.
Man.
He's no, bro.
That's KD left for the better point guard.
Listen, do you think? Okay, I think we had a discussion of this like a couple podcasts ago. This isn't even our discussion, but this is a good discussion. KD, Kevin Durant. Okay, I never forgot what I was going to say. What was I going to say? Damn, I had a good ass point.
What you about to say about my man?
Oh yeah, KD and Kyrie. Are you really gonna bet? Are you really gonna bet?
They get one.
No, not even. Well, I mean they might, but are you really gonna bet that duo even like pans out the way it should?
Did you think?
Let them lose 2 games in a row. Let them lose 3, 4 games in a row, bro.
Did you think Curry and Steph and KD was gonna work out?
Of course, because Steph is
You tell me you didn't have hesitation at first.
Who?
When KD was coming to the Warriors. I know people were out there.
No, not that they were gonna work. When KD came to the team, I thought they could go 82-0. I didn't want KD to come because I knew the whole shift. The narrative was KD to... No. I knew the whole narrative was gonna change to where it was like, I didn't. Because I knew that there was no fucking challenge at that point.
So you think that the Warriors could have won a couple more rings without KD?
Yes or no? Fuck they could have.
Get out of here, bro.
Yes, the fuck they could have.
They needed KD to challenge.
I don't know what this narrative has shifted as if we didn't live through it. 73 and 9. You know the only reason why. And I don't want to burst these LeBron. LeBron's one of the greatest players of all time. You know the only reason why they even won and even came close to winning? You know all the things that had to align that's like a 1 in 100 chance. Put those two teams together. Warriors are winning like 80% of the time. Okay? Everybody and their mama thought they were going to blow them out, them to sweep them, which they almost did. Until you saw the thing with Draymond, the stimulus package LeBron got.
Back 3-1.
3-1.
NBA championship.
We lost Bogey, who was our defensive center. So we essentially had nobody defending the center.
That season, you guys were the best team. You had the best record in NBA history.
Exactly.
And so y'all
telling
lost.
Yeah, but we lost. Okay, this is the thing.
So that's the greatest team ever made.
Come on, you watch basketball enough to know that.
Back from 3-1. 3-1. He came back.
Okay, all right, let me ask you this then.
With my boy Kyrie.
Let me ask you this. Were the Lakers in Detroit, the 2004 team, who was the better team?
2004?
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. If you really think about it, if you guys really know hoop, they had Chauncey Billups, who was raw.
Yeah,
Rip Hamilton, who was raw. Rasheed Wallace. They had Lindsey Hunter coming off the bench. They had Ben Wallace, who I think is a Hall of Famer. And they had Tayshaun Prince. So, honestly, I think Ben Wallace is a Hall of Famer. I think Tayshaun Prince may get in somehow. I think so.
But he's not going to be they were better than the Lakers squad that they had?
Oh, no. The Lakers were definitely better.
But they lost.
But I'm saying that.
Okay. So the greatest team, the best team does not always win. And what happened? I think Karl Malone got hurt. They had some injuries.
The Lakers had the best team on paper, but I think the Pistons had the best team overall.
And then that's and even Toronto with the last finals, who was the best team? Who's the better team in that finals matchup?
I mean, I feel like people
the Warriors.
I feel like people really slept.
Why did they lose?
Certain key players.
Why did the Warriors lose again?
KD got hurt. Klay Thompson
KD got hurt. So that's injury. So And in the
Kevin Looney
2016,
was
that shows
hurt.
my point. There's players like listen, they got like if you were like you were there, bro. Come on, don't act like some like 11-year-old that just started watching
I
basketball
think the
now.
Warriors are good. I'm just saying.
But I'm saying that they lost due to injury. So like that whole thing with
Come on, you can't use the injuries as an excuse.
yes,
They lost. They
I'm
lost.
not using it as an excuse, but I'm saying that because we were going back to the whole Steph and Kyrie thing. Listen, Steph, everybody who knows this, bro. You want Steph as your leader over Kyrie. This is not a discussion.
Have you heard? There hasn't been any one of Kyrie's former teammates to say anything bad about him. So you can't really talk
that
about
doesn't mean
Kyrie's
anything.
leadership. The media just likes to point out certain things, certain clips to make certain people look bad, and they just like to make Kyrie look bad. I think Kyrie's a really good leader. Why do you think KD left? KD wouldn't leave to be with someone who's not a leader.
KD does not want Kyrie leading him. Let's stop that narrative right. Let's kill that narrative right now.
KD wants to lead along with Kyrie.
Kevin Durant. No, this is what he wants, bro. Kevin Durant. This is exactly. I'm gonna break it down. KD knew because when KD came to the Warriors, right, for some weird reason, I don't know why, but for some weird reason, he thought what just happened wasn't going to happen. He thought that he was going to win championships. Well, he knew he was going to win championships, obviously. He thought he was going to get the praise, not knowing that, okay, Steph, Clay, Draymond, Iguodala to some extent. Well, not really Iguodala. He wasn't drafted there, but he was there for like since 2012. They've pretty much all homegrown, okay? Homegrown, drafted, got the championship, won, all the accolades they got way before KD came, okay? KD thought that him coming to that team.
But y'all still took KD. So
of course they did. I didn't want him to, but I'm saying this is not my point, though. KD got to that team. One where he got the finals MVPs, all that, still didn't get the credit he thought. Man, I thought it was going to be better. So he's trying to go to a team now where he has talent. He has enough talent to win a championship, but not enough to where it makes him look like if he wins, it's like, oh, fuck, how could you not win? So he found that perfect balance. That's why with a Kyrie, what they're going to do, they're probably going to try to get some like maybe more all-star type players, but not enough to where it's like, you know, a fucking Avengers Justice League type team to where it's like, obviously he has to win now. And I think the injury, I mean, obviously he didn't get injured on purpose, but the injury helps him too because that kind of gives him more of a comeback story. So I could simply say
he
that
doesn't need no comeback.
What? Oh no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. But I'm just saying that if with that whole narrative
story,
I'm just saying with the whole narrative, bro, that whole Kyrie, KD
like
left Steph and Kyrie, bro. That's not it, bro. That ain't it. He went to someone he can control. Okay.
He can control. The media just makes Kyrie look bad.
Bro, I'm not saying, listen, like, I agree with you. Kyrie is not as bad as he looks, but he's not a fucking saint. Some of that shit he deserved. Like,
of course.
He be big-headed sometimes, bro.
You can never put your teammates under the bus.
Which he did.
Bus.
Like, there's video footage of him doing it. I'm speaking what he said, using his words, not mine.
Hey.
You know? But, yeah. I mean,
shout out to Kyrie.
Yeah, love Kyrie though. Love him.
That's my boy.
So speaking of Kyrie, you said you try to mention your top 10 players. Who are your top 10 players at this moment? You don't have to go in order. I mean, you can't go in order. I feel like you should go in order for this part, honestly.
To be honest, I'm gonna go in order because I feel like it's only right to go in order.
Right.
So my top 10 players currently.
Are you counting injury, or you're just saying currently, like they're all at their top game?
Oh, I'm talking about currently, like injured, not injured. Like even if you're injured, you're still on this list because I still think if you weren't injured, you'll still be here. So I got LeBron number 1.
Right.
I got Kawhi number 2.
Damn, that high?
Yeah.
Shit. Really?
Okay. I got Kawhi and KD number 2.
Man, you gotta pick one, man. You can't just do that whole 1A, 1B thing. Come on now.
I got Kawhi number 2.
Kawhi too.
Because KD left to go join a great team.
Right.
I have KD 3. Man,
Right.
I have Curry 4. Although I say I would take Kyrie over Curry.
See, you don't even believe that.
I have
You don't
Curry
believe
4.
that. You don't
I
believe
have
that.
Kyrie. I have Kyrie 6. I have James Harden 5.
I was gonna say over Harden. Are you sure?
No. I got Damian Lillard.
Right.
Actually, no. I got Kyrie 6. Damian Lillard. Hold on. Okay, so I got LeBron
it's tough.
1.
It's tough.
LeBron 1. Kawhi 2. KD 3. Curry 4.
Right.
James Harden 5. 6.
AD. What about AD?
No, I know. I want to say AD over Giannis, but I'll go Giannis.
No, I put AD under him. Yeah.
AD. Then I have James Harden, Kyrie, Dame, and Luka.
Luka?
Yeah.
See, I was on the fence putting it out. That's why, like, I'm looking at my list now. I'm trying to decide whether I want to put Jokic at 10 or Luka at 10.
No, he's not. Jokic is not that high yet, bro. Damn, over Luka?
Bro, I don't think you
currently in the NBA.
Bro, Jokic might be the number one.
Would you take Joel over Jokic?
Shit, it's close. Because the thing, Joel. No, okay. Listen.
Let me hear your top 10. Let me hear your top. Do you have Joel Embiid in the top 10?
Joel Embiid, I think I'm gonna put him at 10. But Joel Embiid, to me, could be like number fucking 3 in the league right now.
Joel Embiid.
If his mindset was like Shaq, like I'm gonna kill everybody on this court, no celebrating, give me the ball, dunk. Why are you trying to guard me? You about to get hurt. If he had that mindset, bro, he's number 3 right now. Like he's that gifted, but he just be and he
over
don't
AD?
be
Would you take him over AD?
Yeah, I would.
You would take Joel over Anthony Davis?
I would take him over AD, bro.
Huh.
I would take him over AD, I think. But not now because he's not that
Joel's raw. So.
Joel's nice, bro. Joel, baby Hakeem. He just be hella like he don't stay in shape and he just does a bunch like he's just like he's not like he doesn't have the mindset of what you want your star player to have. But
he's still young. You got to remember he went to a.
I don't want to hear that.
Did they have veterans on the Sixers when he got drafted? They were pretty young.
I'm not sure, but he's had time, bro. After Kawhi sent him crying home, okay, I thought that was gonna be enough for him to freaking, toughen up.
I mean, it's still the regular season. You never know. He may just change it up during the playoffs.
Shit, I don't know.
They get bored during the regular season. You see Kawhi, he be taking off.
What? No. But Kawhi is established. Kawhi is established though. Joel's still a baby, bro. So I have, let's see here. So I have LeBron at 1, obviously. I don't know why people are trying to tell me that people trying to say Kawhi is better than LeBron. People trying to say that Giannis is better than LeBron. I'm like, yeah, give me your basketball card. All right. Kevin Durant, the Slim Reaper, the Durantula. Steph Curry, the chef, at 3. Yes. People kind of forgetting. I don't know why, just because he's been gone for like a season.
That's my top 10.
Kawhi Leonard. Okay. Kawhi surprised me. If you look at how he's played, increased his, he's always a defensive, great, but now he's pretty much done the same shit to his offensive game. Game will look like a baby Kobe out there. James Harden, I like to kill him. But that's still a top 5 player. Don't get me wrong. All right, like he's still elite. If he wins a championship at some point, that's going to elevate him greatly.
Oh, he's a Hall of Famer. I still
Oh, of
think he's a
course,
Hall of
first ballot
Famer.
right now already. Um, this one I had to really think because Giannis, I'm actually not even really that big of a fan of him.
Bro, he's raw.
Even though he's raw, but I just feel like Giannis is that type of because he like in terms of his point guard skills, like he's elite. But I just feel like he's without his athleticism, he's kind of like I don't want to say he's one dimensional because he's added a lot to his game. Like he's kind of learning how to shoot a little bit better, but I still think that for what he has, his skill set, he should be going. I mean, he does need more help, but I think he should be doing a bit better.
He doesn't need, bro. He has another All-Star on his team.
That's what I'm saying. But that goes to my point. Like he should be doing better for the skill set he has. I think he should have already been in like an NBA Finals already, or at least the Eastern Conference. Like maybe not win yet because the league is very talented, but I think that for what his skill set entails, he should be farther along, I think, than he is. So I have him, but I still have him at, what is that, 6? Yeah. Right close, damn near it's like interchangeable is Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, man, to me, man, is like one of the greatest like MVP level.
Bro, he's so
honestly,
good.
The only thing that's really holding him back is just his body, like his durability. That's really the only thing, which he's been kind of doing relatively to him. He's been doing pretty well this year. Knock on wood. But yeah, he's elite. You know, honestly, I'm even thinking I have him too low. Actually, now I'm looking at my list. After that, I have Damian Lillard. To me, I think he's the second. He's the second best point guard in the league to me right now. I agree. I think he didn't hopscotched Kyrie. He hopscotched Westbrook. Sent his ass home. Fucking talking shit. Waved his ass bye.
That man,
get out of here.
Lillard is a bad
fucking
boy.
Cold. Like Damian, if we're talking about just the mentality of I don't give a damn, like I'm gonna send you home in the most disrespectful way. Like Damian Lillard is like top 3 all time in that.
And he was killing. He was killing this season.
Like that. I remember watching. I remember where I was, but I think I still have that video on my phone of me watching that shit live because I was watching that game live when he hit that shot. On PG.
On PG.
That bad shot. Shit.
I've never heard. I don't know. One of these days we're gonna have to talk about Paul George. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Paul, I have some shit to talk about him. Yeah.
He's good, but I don't think he's like.
You think he's overrated?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Then we're gonna have the same. Yeah. We'll talk about him. So
I still think he's raw.
8. He's still dope, obviously. Yeah, but he's definitely someone who underachieved. Talk about someone. The skill set you have, you should be doing better. Definitely.
He also did get hurt too. You gotta forget about that.
He's pretty much come back to what he was before. So I don't know if I can really give that excuse to him anymore. But 9, another player I like to kill, but that man is still nice. Like he averaged a triple-double 2 or 3 consecutive years, I think?
Russell?
Yeah, Russell Westbrook. Inefficient as hell, okay? He has but he's still talent-wise, bro, one of the best players in the league. I'm not going to discredit him. Now, he's hanging on by a thread. He's at 9. I do think there's some young dudes in the next couple of years that's going to take that spot. I know he's a polarizing player. I almost didn't want to even put him in it.
That was such a hard debate. Take Luka off. I got to throw Russell at 10.
Yeah, you got to put Luka will take that spot in like 2 years. Bro, Luka's gonna hopscotch to like 5 in like 2 years, bro. He's coming.
Man.
But
I want to actually watch him play. See, that's another thing. I think the NBA not being here also made me realize, like, okay, I grew up with Kobe, right? And I grew up with Kobe and LeBron, and most of those type of players that came into the league they're also like leaving the league. So like my generation is leaving the league, and it's kind of the younger cats. And I'm like, damn, like I grew up with these like, bro, like KG, Kobe, like all of them, and then I'm looking at these younger cats, but then I'm like, not the NBA season leaving made me realize, like, oh, these younger cats are dope. Like Zion
Yeah, they
Williamson,
skilled.
Jason Tatum, Luka Doncic.
A
I'm
lot of
like,
those
ooh,
players are damn near more skilled than those players.
yeah.
If you
So I'm
really
like,
keep it a
yo,
buck.
the future is bright. So
Yeah, it's
I'm
very bright.
excited.
Yeah,
I'm
this
excited.
is gonna be, this next era is gonna be freaking like, I think this era is gonna be one of those, because I've been seeing like certain people I follow on yeah, I'm gonna get to my 10, but I've been seeing certain people that I follow, on like YouTube, and they're like basketball channels, and they're doing this little like 2K variation of like the years from 2020 to like 2050, who's going to be the champions, and like how those seasons are going to pan out. And like a lot of the simulations, like a bunch of teams are winning championships. It's not really that many like Petes. Like there's 2 Petes and stuff, but like hella players are winning championships, like different players. So I think that's probably
good.
how it's going to go. It's going to be like really diverse. Like I don't think there's really going to be that many teams. I mean, there might be some that are super teams, but I think for the most part, it's going to be like everybody's going to be getting ring.
So you think it's going to be more competitive?
I think so, for sure. Unless,
or like if you're really good, you just.
Yeah, but then again, players are more free to move around, so that kind of does change some shit. But yeah, and then for my number 10, I'll say Joel Embiid. There's like a few players I can put in that, but I'm gonna say Joel's 10.
How are you gonna say he's not serious and then put him in your top 10?
Because he's still good.
Where would you put Ben Simmons?
I put him at like 13 maybe. Because Ben Simmons is enough. There's a lot of players. Honestly, while I was looking at this list, there's a lot of these players that could be top 5 if they fixed one aspect of their game, but for some reason just don't. Like I remember back in the day, DeAndre Jordan, I thought he could be the best center in the league if he, one, added a jump shot, like maybe got better at free throws, like how he is at free throws.
He didn't need one. He didn't need one.
Yeah, a free throw shot?
No, you said jump shot. Were you talking about jump shot?
I was saying like shooting, but I meant I specified it more with the free throw.
Oh, okay.
And also post moves, but mostly the free throw. Like, you know how many games that
he lost games.
They lost because they pulled a hacker shot out that nigga?
Yeah.
Like that aspect, now obviously like centers are more skilled now. Like now as a center, you have to have point guard skills. Back then you didn't really.
Is DeAndre Jordan on the decline? Like I didn't see him play too much on the Nets. If he's not, the Nets are going to be good.
I'm not sure because I haven't seen him enough this year. Yeah, he's been kind of like, I know he's still in the league obviously, but he's just been like not utilized because he's this dude on Twitter is going at LeBron. He's talking about LeBron being selfish, trying to get his 4th ring instead of trying to what's it called?
There's nothing wrong with it.
I don't think that's what I'm saying. I won't say that because I think LeBron's done too much for me to because I do think what LeBron said is right. Like he's the only thing is that he's probably one of the only players that can do that, to where he can still have the same voice while playing. I don't think other players can do that as well.
And you never know. It may work to his advantage because, like, the NBA being the only big sport out, he has that platform to really, like, I mean, all eyes are definitely going to be on the NBA once it comes back. So you never know. He may use that platform to shake up some shit.
He will. He will. That's why I'm not really, like – I think when I'm talking more about the NBA not coming back, I mean more for, like, the corona still being a thing and this whole thing with George Floyd and just the whole like shit show that's going on in America right now. I just think that it's just not the time, but yeah. Oh, no. So and then we had originally had a segment that had to do with white coaches getting hired over black. That's not, I mean, it's still relevant, but I kind of changed it up a little bit for slightly more kind of right now issue. And like, what coaches have, what do you think about the coaches and owners speaking or not speaking up on this issue? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm not like, I don't really have social media like that. So what I mostly see is like Bleacher Report. Now, if I do go on like hot news hip hop, but like the coach that I've been seeing the most that I like that he's speaking up about this shit is like Greg Popovich,
which is not
and
surprising.
I've always liked that guy. So like
Yeah.
I don't know, it's good to see him use his platform because he's a successful coach and
Pretty
he's
much
also
all the
white
coach, yeah.
and he's smart. So like
Yeah, pretty much all the coaching. He has a very diverse background, like military. Like you
exactly.
can tell he's worldly. Like he's not like the stereotypical. I mean, I don't even like using that word, but stereotypical white man. Like he's seen some shit, so he's not.
Yeah.
His viewpoint is so high above like the average guy, but
And he's just doing something that I like that a
yeah,
lot of people are doing that I hate. Instead of like using their platform and speaking, they like post like a text or like no, I want to see you say it. Like show me your face. And that's what Greg
yeah,
Popovich is doing. He's like
definitely.
really like speaking. He's coming at like certain. He came at Roger Goodell.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like
I'm glad
came
someone
at the
did.
NFL owners. I'm like, wow.
That shit was so bogus, man. Like I'm like, bro, it takes all this shit like that. What I don't think is genuine is when like I don't want you to apologize when you're basically pushed to doing it because then it's not
Dude,
genuine.
yeah.
You know, because you're just feeling the fucking pressure.
You
You're
look
like, all
even
right, we gotta shut
worse.
up. Yeah, we gotta shut these people up. So let me just,
Say what they want to hear.
yeah, like I don't like that shit. But yeah, like players, like pretty much coaches, the coaches you would expect to speak out have spoken out. Like Steve Kerr has spoken. Steve Kerr's been speaking about shit like this since like I've followed him on Twitter.
Since he
Like
became
years ago. Yeah. So I mean, that's not really surprising. I did hear he backpedaled, but fucking
Oh, he
James
did?
Dolan. No,
Oh.
James Dolan fucking tried to the New York. They
The
basically said
Knicks.
something to where they weren't gonna speak on it. I don't know, something that was just like rubbed me the wrong way.
He needs to go.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And he backpedaled with it
Go
earlier
home. Get out of
on.
here, you old ass motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying. And but it's shown a lot of coaches and a lot of big named owners have not spoken out.
Yeah.
So
That's what I thought so too. I'm like, oh. I know mate
Utah Jazz coach spoke out too.
Ujiri said something.
Oh,
The
he
GM
has
of
to.
the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah.
Has Mark Cuban said anything?
Oh yeah, Mark Cuban was on like a fucking interview with NBA TV, and he was talking like had a whole thing on it. Like he doesn't even think the NBA should come back.
Really?
Yeah. Initially, I don't think he was one of those people that didn't even think it should come back. Yeah, Mark Cuban's been very vocal on it.
What about Joe Lacob?
Of course, yeah. Joe Lacob though, he said something like I think Joe Lacob said something. He was more on the he was more on like the fence of like, we need.
What did Joe Lacob say?
He said something like sports brings out the positivity, so that's why. And that's why I was like,
Joe Lacob cares about the money.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Joe Lacob is a genuinely good guy. I think just the way he said that, it just can't. Because some of these things, like, remember we're talking about the whole cancel culture and some people just don't word their shit right. Like, they mean well, but they just don't. Because Joe Lacob is a fucking cool ass dude. Like, I'm not saying I know him personally, but I mean, I've seen a bunch of interviews on him. Obviously, he's the owner of the team that I've been following.
He said he's my coach. He's my owner. He's my team's owner.
Did I say my owner? Did I say that?
No.
I was like, I made sure not to say that. I was like, cause ain't nobody my owner. What the hell? But
he's my team's owner.
He's a good dude. So I don't think he meant anything malicious. I think what he was trying to say was that they need to have things to lighten up the mood, but at the same time, it's like we kind of need the mood to not be lightened because we need this shit to be solved. So I think a lot of people have this kind of like, oh, if I put my head under the covers, all the monsters is gonna go away. Like, no, that's not how it works. Sometimes you need to embrace that shit.
Educate yourself.
So you can change it, But I think that he was just he was kind of, I don't want to say insensitive to that, but I think he just wasn't getting that part. But yeah, he's spoken up on it. But yeah, I mean, I think that NBA is the reason I love it so much is because they're the league out of all the major sports I think that just acts fast, and they see the importance of certain issues. Now, their whole pretty much their whole base of athletes is African American, so they kind of have no choice to do that, which is
But
another thing.
I just feel like Adam Silver has common sense.
Oh yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But I still think they're genuine. Yeah.
He's like, okay, majority of my employees are African American, and they're the ones that bring the money. So like, I have to make the players happy, and I have to make the owners happy.
Right.
But I honestly need to really make the players happy, even though I'm employed by the owners. So
I don't know why
owners he had a conference with the superstars. Like he went to LeBron and certain players to be like, hey, like this is what I'm thinking about doing to restart this season. So
I don't think Roger Goodell did shit like that.
No, and I think the MLB they're not even sure if they're coming back.
I'm not talking about the MLB up in on this podcast, man. Fuck the
Major
MLB.
League Baseball.
Yeah, but I think that I think that it's definitely good that obviously they're not perfect. I mean, no one's perfect, but the NBA is definitely one of the most, I think, progressive leagues to when it comes to handling these issues. Obviously they're not perfect because we're seeing small L's that they're taking with this whole Corona thing, but do I have the utmost certainty that they're going to figure out or come to some kind of compromise? Of course, because they've always come to compromise off of shit like this on this kind of intensity in the past. So, I mean,
but what if it doesn't work out?
I don't think it won't, honestly, because at least the reason why I don't think it will get to that point where it doesn't work out is because they're actually talking about these problems. Like, they don't put shit under the rug until it comes out. Like, I'm pretty sure someone is going to address what Kyrie said, someone at a high level, because obviously these are, what was it on that call, like 80 people, 80 players. So, like, they have to come to some kind of compromise because it's like they're both heading in the same, the July 31st is only getting so, it's going to get closer. So, they have to come up with some kind of compromise that's going to appease the players and the ownership and all that. And if not, then, we'll see.
I'm curious if when it does start, I'm curious to see who actually stayed in shape.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm trying to – yeah.
This is at the end of the day, this is like you have to stay in shape in order to perform. So – I'm kind of curious to see who actually was like, okay. Like,
I do feel about them only taking 22 teams and not 30.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
And like, I think if the 8th seed is like 4 games ahead of the 9th seed, they play in. Right. So the 9th seed has to win 2 games and the 8th seed has to win 1. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool because I like the bottom part of the bottom part with like the Pelicans and like the Memphis Grizzlies and like the Trailblazers. I'm kind of curious to see who gets that last spot.
Because I actually didn't even have this on my my agenda, but just with us talking about it and just like other things I've been hearing, do you think that whoever, because we all do agree that even though we do think it shouldn't come back, we all do agree it's probably going to come back just because, the NBA.
It's coming back.
It's coming back, all right? But do you think that whoever is going to be crowned this year, do you think they're going to have an asterisk on the championship?
A win's a win.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think they're going to have an asterisk where it's like it's harder to win in this environment or where it's easier because players haven't – there might be certain players that don't play because of everything that's going on, and that's gonna make people think like, well, they didn't really play the best players. So
I don't think it's harder or easier. I think it's just a unique season. For some you can say, oh man, this little break gave me some time to like rest and like regain my health to perform, and then for others, it's like, man, I really have a gap, and now I have to go back and play. Yeah. And then to others, it's just like, yo, I'm not trying to go and play because of this whole virus.
Honestly, like, I don't know, man, because at first I thought to myself, oh, yeah, of course it's going to be asterisk, bro. Like, this is a weird-ass season, even if they win. Then I thought again, and I was like, well, actually, wouldn't it be harder because you have to basically adjust yourself? Think of all these players. I remember I was watching this interview with Lebron, and he was talking about how it at his age, it's actually, like, harder on him when he takes breaks because –
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, because he's older.
Yeah, it's harder because it's harder for him to kind of rev himself up because he paces himself – throughout the regular season to when it gets to like the playoffs, he's already at a certain.
He's ready. Yeah.
Yeah.
You forget.
That's
interesting.
Yeah, with certain players, they have that kind of like physical clock on their body that they're regulating, but that sounds hella weird. That they're regulating, but they're it's kind of thrown off because of this whole thing. So what if players aren't at their peak because of that? And what if you're still able to win? So it's like, but then that was even before this whole thing went down with the George Floyd thing. Now players aren't even going to play, some players. So it's like, can you really say you beat the best players without, really going like
a win's a win?
I mean, I'll say I don't know, honestly. I have to actually see how it pans out because it could go in either one of those possibilities. So I can't say it right now. I'll probably have my answer be like, I need to see like the first fucking like couple weeks of the new season and then determine like who's there, who's not, how players playing. And if I see that, then that'll probably give me a better answer. But I can't say definitively right now because there's too many variables, man. Like it's a weird ass year, bro. It's a weird season, bro.
It is. It's definitely
But I will say that in 2011,
a season not to forget.
Yeah, in 2011 it was a lockout too, right? But they don't discredit LeBron's ring, or no? Was it 2012?
2012.
I think 2012. Yeah, LeBron's first ring was off of a lockout season, but they don't really discredit that one.
Because that's what I'm saying. A win's a win.
Yeah,
like,
so I don't know.
You're a champion.
But this is a different kind of situation, though. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough. But yeah. So you want to get to the timeout segment, or we got some other shit to talk about?
Man, I was gonna go to the timeout segment.
Yep. But then
I'm gonna just go with the player of the game because the timeout segment is kind of big because I want to do like I want you to pick your top 16 teams.
16.
And what would be your favorite playoff game to watch? And then I want you to like based on the rounds choose each team. It's going to be like it's like the NCAA since it looks like it's going to be a format like that, and then figure out who wins at the end.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that next time we have it. Okay. I'm gonna go straight to like player of the game. So it was just like before where I had you guess.
Okay.
So this is a new one. I mean, this player is relevant. Okay. And actually looking back on his career, he actually had a decent career for what people think of him.
So he's retired right now?
Yeah, he's retired.
Okay.
So player of the game, the Black Stars Showtime player of the game, episode 5.
Got it.
What player am I? Career average, 15.1 points.
15?
15.
Okay.
That's his career average. Played 14 seasons in the NBA. It's an NBA champion. And then I got more.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's a 15 years, 14 years, 15 points.
He played on 15 different basketball teams. So he's not a superstar. He's relevant. I would say he's a decent role player. He was a McDonald's All-American in high school.
Oh, I know who it is. Captain motherfucking Jack.
Yep.
Yep.
Hey, you're pretty good.
Of course, I know my b-ball, man.
What gave it away?
Well, one, I kind of thought, okay, he has to be relevant to this situation. He's been going, I was like, okay, wait, he's an All-American. I know how you're always talking about his All-American stories with him and Kobe, and he won a championship with the Spurs. So I'm thinking like, all right, so he's like a borderline all-star-ish, but like not really a superstar, I was thinking
And actually, you got it. It's relevant to this time, and I wanted to give him player of the game because, like I said, like these players. I mean, role models, celebrities, like people who have platforms are using their platforms to good. And man, it so happened that the person that died was his friend. So I really, I give him like an applaud for just stepping out. Like he's like taking full charge of this. Like he wants to change. Like they were coming out talking bad about his friend. He was like, nah, he was a father. He was this, and this, and this. Trying to change the narrative. And like,
I don't even think they put their podcast on hold too, I think.
Yeah. It hasn't been on since like May 28th. Because I follow that. I follow them like every episode they drop.
Instagram, IG, all that. Yeah.
I respect, and that also shows like you don't have to be a LeBron. Like this is Steven Jackson. He was like you said, borderline all-star player.
I mean, he's an NBA player. His platform is already there. So
the image he had in the NBA was like a troublemaker, but now look at him.
Right.
So it's just like, bro, like he's using his platform for good.
Yeah,
he was like a superstar.
Yeah, I think he was the first person I heard to really say like the NBA shouldn't come back. After that.
Yeah.
He was the first person I saw, even before I saw the whole thing with Kyrie. But yeah, Captain Jack.
But no, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh, maybe this is gonna be a good one. But you got it.
Bruh,
listen, you got it. I'm gonna have to make this harder.
You're gonna have to get Nanny on here to guess for that. I'm gonna guess him.
I'm gonna make them relevant. I don't want to go way too back. I don't want to go far back. So I think I gotta go. Depending on how this week goes, it's gonna determine who my player of the game is gonna be.
Got it. Yep. All right, man. Episode 5 is in the books. You know what? Everybody stay safe. We're gonna have another episode out. So 6, we're going to have some stuff to talk about.
Playoff brackets.
So stay tuned.
NBA championships. NBA champions off of this. So I'm gonna send you a bracket, or like you give me your 16. We'll see how we're gonna do it. I'll see.
We'll figure it out. All right.
Peace, everybody. All right, man. You have a good night. Peace.
Yeah, you too, man.